Hey guys, so as you can tell from me starting off today's video on my Dailymotion channel page that I'm going to be talking about some of the alternative video sharing platforms to YouTube and what they have to offer, whether or not there might be an underdog among them willing to take on YouTube for the title of the dominant video sharing platform, or whether or not they're just a bunch of amateurs. But before I begin with that, I would just like to make a bit of a quick shameless plug for my Dailymotion channel. Dailymotion.com/Chris Ware, and it is, for all intents and purposes, a bit of a mirror of my YouTube channel. It's got videos that go pretty well as far back as 2012 if you want to see some of the archives and see how terrible I truly was at making videos. But it's a mirror site because you never know when YouTube just might make that fundamental decision which ends them and makes them so unappealing to content creators that they all flock elsewhere. So at least I will have my videos on another platform, because you never, and also they might just go completely bonkers with their content ID. And even though I don't break any copyright rules, I've not had any copyright or third-party flags so far, you never know. You never know what might happen. So anyway, yeah, like I said, there's a backup site here, Dailymotion.com/Chris Ware, and it's not too bad for views actually. I've got 16,736 views on this site. Okay, but without further ado, let's begin. Now today I'm going to be talking about some of the facts and figures behind some of YouTube's competitors from Alexa.com, so it kind of makes sense to start off with YouTube just to see what the benchmark is. So YouTube, third most popular website in the world, third most popular website in the United States, and this is the chart which tells people how popular a website is in regards to its competitors. So as you can see, these few spikes here just represent times when YouTube has become the second most popular website on the internet, although it has never in recent history become the first most popular website. And that's probably those little bolts of success are probably when a video has gone particularly viral. So with that in mind, there are also some more details, demographics, but YouTube, as you can imagine, holds the demographic of most people who use the internet. There are a few differences in browsing location, but you know, in terms of gender balance and so forth, it seems to be reasonably consistent. And this little section here is other countries in which this website is quite popular, but let's face it, YouTube is pretty popular everywhere. So it's in regards to its relative success, it's pretty much on about as stable as you can get, really. So let's have a look at the competitor, or the next biggest competitor in the English-speaking parts of the world, Vimeo.com. Now Vimeo.com, famous for being a bit of, shall we say, the hipster version of YouTube, where you have to pay for a Pro and Plus accounts, which is fine, they're not too expensive. The only reason I don't use them as my mirror is because if for some reason I do fall on hard times, can't pay my Vimeo bill, that means a lot of my websites will be thrown out, which is something that I really don't want to happen. But it's the 69th most popular website in the United States, and that's not bad. It's 101 worldwide. It's just outside the top 100, but it has on frequent occasions slipped into the top 100. And as you can see, it's kind of gathering success, although there was a big drop there. And in terms of demographics pretty much the same as YouTube there. It does have a lot of people viewing it from school, so there are probably a good number of educational videos on Vimeo. And as you can see, in the United Kingdom, it's 70th most popular website. Does it pretty good in France, 102, Germany 105, and even in India 197. That's still in the top 200. So Vimeo doing pretty well. I think the thing that's holding Vimeo back really is its monetization options. Wouldn't mind paying 35 quid, 40 quid, that's 40 British pounds a year, if you take into account, you know, for their Plus account. I wouldn't mind paying that at all if they had some kind of monetization option which you could use to sort of offset that initial cost, which would be quite good, and therefore for a channel like mine it would pay for itself. But unfortunately it has no such thing, and that's pretty much what is keeping YouTube number one, is the fact that you can make a living off YouTube. Making a living off any of its competitors is going to be difficult to say the least, although there are some organisations and companies that do it. Okay, so that's Vimeo. On to Dailymotion. Dailymotion, of course, is the one, the website I introduced to you at the beginning of today's video, and it's got a 94th global rank, so worldwide it's more popular than Vimeo. But in the English-speaking parts of the world, namely the United States, as seen here, it's only in the top 200, which isn't bad at all, but it is quite evident that Dailymotion is more appealing to the non-English speaking parts of the world than it is to the English speaking parts of the world. And it is. And you can see here, home and school are where it's predominantly viewed the most, which I guess there must be a decent amount of educational videos on Dailymotion, or possibly more likely, it's probably quite popular in schools where youtube.com is blocked on school filters and Dailymotion isn't. Just a thought there. You can see here males are overrepresented to females being underrepresented on this website, and this is a bit of a trend in pretty much all the websites from here on in, which is a little bit of an eye-opener. It's a bit of a concern as to why smaller video sharing websites seems to be more male dominated. Possibly, although I have no evidence to back this up, it might have something to do with the countries in which the alternative video sharing sites are more popular. But I don't know about that. Okay, so Dailymotion, by and large, more popular worldwide, more popular in non-English speaking countries. The monetization options on Dailymotion are different to that of YouTube in how they function, how they work. They focus much more on getting their content out onto other websites and out onto Facebook and out onto Twitter, rather than focusing on viewing the websites through Dailymotion.com, which I don't, which is a negative to me. It's a big negative in Dailymotion. I would like to build my Dailymotion channel on my Dailymotion channel page, but if I was to do that in a big way, I would have to move to a website. And also another big problem is that with their monetization embed function, there are some websites that don't support it, namely WordPress and Tumblr. There are ways around it, but yeah, like I say, their monetization options leave quite a lot to be desired, but there are some there, and with some know-how you can probably make them work, particularly if you're popular enough. Blogger, the Google blog platform, does work, but presumably you're signing up to Dailymotion to get away from Google, not just YouTube. But there are other options for you there if you so desire. Okay, so these are the websites we've looked at so far that are the biggest competitors to YouTube and Google. Now let's have a look at some of the smaller guys. Next on the list, Metacafe.com, and I've recently spent the last few days checking out Metacafe.com, and yeah, not impressed. Its global rank is 1,135. It's popular in India, but it's still only 359. And Pakistan, it seems to be doing quite well, but if I remember correctly, I think, is it Dailymotion does quite well in Pakistan? Yeah, Dailymotion, 7th most popular website in Pakistan. Don't know why it does so well in Pakistan, but Metacafe, nowhere close. So, and also you can tell from this graph here that Metacafe is only going to, it's only going down. It's only losing popularity. Went on the website a couple of days ago and tried to start a channel there, try and look at it as a potential mirror option for YouTube, but the website was just too buggy. It was outrageously buggy. It was buggy for a non-video sharing website. For even a very simple basic website, there were some very simple features that just didn't work, and gotta say, nothing but disappointment for this website so far, which is a bit of a shame because it does look like it has some promising content on it, but and it does look like it would be a potential to fill YouTube's place should YouTube just go in a drastically different direction, because Dailymotion, perhaps shall we say, is maybe a bit too casual. A lot of the content is not polished. Vimeo, a lot of the content is too polished. It's too it's very much a website where you might host indie films and things like that. It's, a lot of stuff on Vimeo. It's very posh. Dailymotion, yeah, sort of the opposite problem. Metacafe has kind of got that YouTube vibe where it's quite casual, where it's got a nice variety of things, where their front pages promote some of their more interesting content, but it ain't gaining in popularity. And there was a time when I really did think that it could take on YouTube a couple of years ago, but it's failing. And it's failing because of its own fault, really. It's not failing because of the environment or factors outside of its control. It's failing because it failed to maintain a decent website. Okay, so let's have a look at Blip TV. This is one that I'm sure many of you have actually heard of, and I'm surprised its global rank is 6,000. I'm surprised its United States rank is 3,000, because it is quite a popular website and it does have a lot of good content on it. It's kind of like Vimeo in many ways. And before it was bought out by Maker, it wasn't too bad. I hosted many videos on it. There were bugs with it, but for all intents and purposes, they weren't show-stopping bugs and ones you could wait for them to be worked out. Since it was taken over by Maker, they've started deleting accounts for people who are making content that doesn't meet their particular standards, and that is just something that I cannot abide by. If you want to shut people's accounts down, because, like, I mean, it's within their right, but it's such a dick business move that I don't want to be involved with such a company. Even though Blip TV is the only website that isn't YouTube that monetizes their content in the same way, so there was certainly a lot of potential for it. It decided to become pretentious, and it decided to become more like Veoh, but with monetization options, but even more elitist, because at least Vimeo was inclusive, and it's just not as successful as Vimeo as well, which is daft. So I don't know, and I guess, like, sort of empathically speaking, I can kind of imagine why Blip TV got a bit annoyed with their lower quality content creators, because Blip TV did seem to be the home for people who had their monetization settings revoked on YouTube. So they did seem to sort of end up in Blip TV in a last gasp hope to try and make some money off their content, and usually failing at the same time. Blip TV, of course, was famous for not accepting video game channels, because, you know, so they were always kind of picky. They always had a high bar, but now they've kind of, you know, I mean, even though they didn't delete my account, and I'm pretty sure my account would have been good enough for them to have accepted. Nah, you know, like, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to think that my content could just disappear simply because it doesn't, you know, doesn't please the right people. That's the TV model. It's the model that we're trying to get away from. So the last website on the list is one that I have the least knowledge about. Veoh.com. Veoh.com, popular in Japan. It's still in the top 1,000. Its global rank is 4,131, and it's down quite badly, actually. If you look at it, it has a very sporadic kind of, you know, almost breaking into the top 1,000 at the beginning of 2012, but now it is suffering pretty badly, gotta say, and it is on the way down, which is a bit of a shame, because I did check out Veoh.com. Its gender balance isn't too bad, but it's still, again, more popular, more visited by men than it is by women. Yet to see a video website which is more popular to women than it is to men, but que sera. And again, visited by school, visited by home, so it's recreational, and again, it's probably visited by school because it's possibly a website that isn't on many schools' blacklist in the same way that YouTube would be. Also kind of popular in, well, it's not popular. Well, in the United Kingdom it's 7,900, 8,000th. Very popular. Like, alternative video websites seem to be quite popular in Pakistan. Is YouTube not shown in Pakistan or something? I guess that YouTube is banned in a few countries, and I am going to hazard a guess that Pakistan is one of them, which is why you see Pakistan in Veoh, you see Pakistan, do you see it in Blip? Don't think you see it in, oh no, yeah, you see it in Blip, you see it in Metacafe, 138th, it's doing well in Pakistan, and in Pakistan it's 7th. Is Dailymotion 7th. So it's sort of it's almost certain that YouTube. What about Vimeo? Yeah, quite possibly Vimeo is also banned in Pakistan. So going back to Veoh, yeah, I've had a look at Veoh today, and I've only checked it out today of all places, but it actually looks pretty good. It actually looks like it does deserve some more of the attention, than it gets. And I've only started hearing about it recently. I've only started hearing it dropped into conversations, but again, it doesn't seem that bad. It doesn't seem like it deserves this recent drop in popularity. Could be wrong though. I'm going to try it out. So this video will probably be the first video that gets uploaded to my Veoh channel, veoh.com/Christopher Ware, or whatever that's my username on Veoh. I'll put a link to it in the description if I can remember. But yeah, so that's just a look at some of the stats and the figures of some of the main competitors. So we've got YouTube, 3rd most popular in the world, Vimeo, 101st most popular in the world, Dailymotion, 94th most popular in the world, Metacafe, 1135th most popular in the world, Blip TV, 6063rd most popular in the world, Veoh, 4133rd first most popular in the world. And to be fair, Veoh has had the biggest drop. It's had the biggest drop in the last 3 months. I'm not sure why that is. But it still beats Blip TV. And the United... yeah, like I say. So like I say, I'll give Veoh a try. My hopes aren't high. But like I say, it does come back. I would love there to be a viable alternative to YouTube. But unfortunately there isn't. If Dailymotion can get their act together and sort out some of their monetization settings, Dailymotion definitely stands a chance. It can bolster a lot of momentum on the non-English speaking world, and then, you know, launch some hostile competition from that. But unfortunately, I think Dailymotion just... I don't know, they're expanding, they're definitely expanded. They've opened up an office in the States recently. And you know, they're definitely on the way up. But, you know, like, really, what can they offer content creators? They can offer a lot. They can offer the same kind of, you know, unlimited uploads that YouTube can. It can offer nice, decent channel design. It can offer a lot of small content creators a little bit more exposure than they would perhaps get on YouTube. So it can offer a decent amount, but it can't offer the money, and that isn't, you know, as much as YouTubers like to say that it's not important, it is, because it puts a ceiling on the quality and regularity of your content. I can only do daily videos because I work from home and I do a lot of stuff with video anyway, so to do this as a peripheral side project type of thing is a lot easier for me, but for the vast majority of people, making videos and stuff like this is more difficult and more time consuming. And I'm just going to sort of slip the editing for this process into my schedule and so forth. So, you know, I'm in a bit of a luxury position. Most people are not, and it does put a limit on the amount of content you can put up, and the amount of quality and the quality of the content you can put up. Vimeo again. I would say Vimeo. If he gets his monetization, if he can get some monetization, I'm sure. Like personally, I would be happy to pay. You know, like Vimeo is a great website, but if I can't pay my Vimeo bill, then my videos get taken down, and that's the big deterrent. So if there was some way that I could recuperate those financial losses by monetization, and because I definitely would make enough monetization, well, on YouTube to pay for it, and if Vimeo was anywhere near as successful as YouTube, I'd make enough money on Vimeo to at least let it pay for itself. And that would be all right by me. But like I said, should I fall on hard times and not be able to pay my... Because let's face it, right? When you've got to tighten your belt, it's going to be your Vimeo account that gets the axe first, isn't it? It's going to be the thing that you can save money on quickly. So, and yeah, it's about $5 a month, but you make a saving if you get a yearly subscription, which is what I would do if I got Vimeo. And I think about it all the time. But the thing that puts me off getting my Vimeo subscription is after a year I realise that Vimeo is not as good as I think it is, or at least the Vimeo Plus account isn't as good as I think it is. Then I would lose. You know, I would be back in square one. I couldn't just, you know, what could I do? So Dailymotion is where it's at the moment, and the monetization, like I say, if you were super popular and you had a decent plan and you were set up with some good affiliate schemes, then maybe you can make a living off of it, but it would certainly be much more difficult than YouTube. Metacafe, that's just sealing its own coffin at this point, as you can see. Blip TV doing the same thanks to Maker Studios, and although yeah, I mean the content on Blip TV was pretty good, it was high quality, but when my content was on Blip TV, no one saw it. It was terrible. And yeah, like I say, Veoh, don't know enough about it to make a definitive judgment, but it's a shame that it's on the way down, because I would like to see that make a smiley face there and make a comeback, because Veoh, as far as it is in terms of a website and how well it's put together, not bad. You can sign up to it with your Facebook account, very easy to sign up to. Blip TV, I don't remember there being any problems. I think you can sign up to it with your Facebook account. Metacafe, huge problem signing up, just don't even bother. Dailymotion, yeah, you can sign in with your Facebook, easy as pie. Vimeo, can't remember how I signed up to that, but I didn't have any particular difficulties. So like I said, bit of an in-depth video, a bit longer than I was expecting it to be, but I'll probably do even more in-depth videos about some of the alternatives in the future, because like I say, it's different horses for different courses. You know, if you're not a casual YouTuber, you might want to look into some of the other options that some of the other services can offer you. For example, Dailymotion has some pretty nifty streaming services, and it also has some pretty good pay-per-view services. As far as it currently stands, if you want to pay someone to have access to a particular channel on YouTube, you have to already have a channel that has thousands upon thousands of subscribers. But with Dailymotion, if you wanted to put a documentary online or put a film online that you made and charge people to watch it, you could do that on Dailymotion. So, you know, like I say, monetization through advertising isn't the be-all and end-all. And it's not how many of the big YouTubers make the bulk of their YouTube money either. If you look at SourceFed and Philip DeFranco, they make a lot of it through affiliate sales, through their t-shirts and through their sponsors and things like that. And that would, you know, if you were serious at becoming a professional YouTuber, that's where you'd look to garner most of your income, because you can't rely on YouTube AdSense revenue. It's just not reliable enough, guys. So, that being said, also don't forget to check out my website, christopherware.com, just in case the apocalypse does decide to kick in anytime soon. You can always find my latest content there, regardless of what platform it might be hosted on. So, that's about it for me today. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching. If you also, as a bit of a side note, a couple of days ago I did a video where I talked about feedly.com. So if you want to subscribe to a channel on Dailymotion and on YouTube, and say perhaps on Metacafe, Vimeo, Blip TV, Veoh as well, you can have videos from all those channels in one single feed on feedly.com, and all you have to do is type in the name of the channel to get that particular feed. So it's not like we have to, the world has to make up its mind on one single service. Anyway, I just wish that there was a decent alternative to YouTube, certainly in terms of monetization, but also in terms of popularity as well. By far, I get most views on YouTube, and by far second place is Dailymotion. But as well as views on their own, it's about engagement, and people don't leave comments on Dailymotion, which is a bit of a shame. As you can see, like since 2012, 18 comments. 18 comments, that's not very many. So, you know, YouTube, it's you know, I get 18 comments a day, if not more than that. So so there. Anyway, that's about it from me today. This video's gone on quite long enough, but if you did watch it all the way to the end, please let me know. The comment question of the day is, why do you think that there is yet to be a serious video sharing platform challenger to YouTube? Do you think it's simply because YouTube is just too big to fail? Do you think it's brand recognition gone out of control? Or do you think that the other websites fail to offer something that YouTube can? Do you think it's the views? Do you think it's the AdSense revenue? Do you think it's something that's not attracting? Do you think, you know, in terms of, is it a chicken and egg kind of thing? Do you think that people need to people will not release videos or make videos for Dailymotion because they won't get the views? Or do you think that they're not getting the views simply because the content creators are all stuck at YouTube? Who knows? Well, please let me know down in the comment section below.
Hey guys, just a bit of a surprise update to this video. I wanted to put this in just after recording the last bit because I've gotten to know Veoh a little bit better, and I did say that it was promising in the video, and I want to retract that statement. I want to retract it with the full force that I can muster up, because after playing around with Veoh a little bit, I've come to realise it's really not a very good video sharing platform at all. There are a few reasons for this. First off, a few bugs have revealed themselves in the website, particularly when it comes to linking it with your Facebook and Twitter account. That doesn't really work particularly well, but that's not the main reason for it. The main reason is that if you want to watch videos that are above a certain length, I think it's like quarter of an hour or something, you have to download their special piece of software, which, as far as I'm aware, only works on Windows. It may work on Mac, and it doesn't work on Linux. And as you guys know, I am partial to Linux, and Well, to be honest, any website that requires you to download and install a plugin that you know isn't actually required to run the functions of the website is highly suspicious in my book. There is a specific reason why they want you to download and use that piece of software, and it's unlikely to make their videos work better, considering all the other video websites that I talked about today function perfectly well without you having to download special pieces of software. So it absolutely stinks of spyware or malware to me. So just wanted to say that, and I will not be pursuing my career as a content creator on Veoh in any way, shape or form. I've already uploaded one video and it doesn't really encode particularly well either. There were a few bugs in it. So yeah, basically since the end of the last recording and since I've started trying out Veoh a little bit, it's really not worth the time. So guys, I thought I might want to put that in there, and yeah, that's about it from me today. Until next time, I've been Chris Ware, and you've been awesome. Take care now.